Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're back out here with the Hangkai 3.5 horse motor, and as a couple of y'all mentioned, and I'm going to put the comment right here, I didn't put any gear oil in this. So we're going to find out today if this thing is salvageable or if it's completely destroyed. So this is either going to be a really short video or of me pulling this pin out, taking this thing apart and finding out that this thing is no good at all, or a slightly longer video of us attempting to repair it. I wish I had a pair of needle nose pliers. Oh well, I ain't gonna sit here and keep looking for needle nose pliers. We're just gonna try to bend this out best we can. Grab me a piece of metal here. So we got that pin pulled out. Now you got to take your prop off. It's already showing a little rust. We're going to pull this roll pin just so we don't lose it. Or shear pin. It's called a shear pin, not a roll pin. It shears off so you don't break your prop. Or it's supposed to be how it works. Take these out. Either the gears in here are going to be completely crapped and the boat motor's completely ruined, or this thing shut itself off in time that it might still be salvageable. We'll squirt some gear oil in it and see. Well, we got to replace the pull cord, and we'll see if it'll at least fire back off. We're not going to run it long because you don't want to. It ain't got to water to keep it cool, which I don't think that function ever really worked anyway. I never saw any water coming out of it, but I wasn't paying really great attention to it, so we'll see. Love tap here. Flathead screwdriver. Well, if you guys can see that right there, a whole lot of metal. But, you know, it's got a little bit of wear to it, but I feel like if we clean that out and put a little gear oil in there, she might just be salvageable. Let's see if I can find some carb cleaner. Out. And the reason we're using carb cleaner is because it evaporates fairly quickly. Throw a little carb cleaner on there. you look right here, you can see all the shiny, almost copper-like metal shavings that came off in there. I'm going to pull this off and see what's under there in a minute. I'm going to see if we can find the impeller that's supposed to move the water pump. Make sure that it's still good. Then we're going to, while we're waiting on that to dry, we're going to go ahead and pull the cover, because I don't think those gears are completely destroyed. We'll get you a better look at them here momentarily. We'll go ahead and pull this off. Some of these screws were really easy to get out, some of them aren't. Noticing a lot of rust on this thing for something that's supposed to be made for the water. But for 160 bucks or whatever it cost, that's not real surprising. And we're probably going to leave this metal shroud off, because I think that's what ended up cutting through our string, even though our string cut through itself anyway. It cut through the plastic, but I think it ended up rubbing on that metal edge and breaking the string. But come on out of there. There it goes. I don't know if I'm going to put that back on. You just gotta wiggle these things and they go back on. They get these feet. It wouldn't just be easier to pop this metal housing apart, this plastic housing apart. Probably not. Alright, I'll see you guys after I get this back on. Okay, so we've cleaned that out a little bit. It's not seized up. There's not a whole lot of actual gear damage here. So we're going to take these bolts out and disconnect the lower unit. I'll say that. Apparently there's two different size bolts on this, because this is a 10. We'll check the impeller and make sure it's still good. If not, we'll put that other one in. I'm thinking it overheated itself, and that's what caused it to shut off. Should just be 2 bolts on this motor to hold the thing together, but that's supposed to be 10 there. On there real good. Let me get a wrench. 10mm wrench. That. Oh, still looks good. Still turns like it's good. Not sure where all that copper crap looking crap came from. Pull this off here. Not showing or seeing any irreversible damage yet. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I guess it'd have to be a good thing. Impeller's still good, so that's good. Two screws back in. I'm going to reassemble this. We're going to get some gear oil in it. I'll see you guys when we're done. Alright y'all, so we've got her all put back together. We gave her a couple pulls and she did finally fire off, so she's not completely dead. We put our gear oil in there. We're going to fire it back up and see if it'll actually still spin the prop. I didn't check that yet. And we're going to see if we can make a mess in here and shoot water halfway across the shop. So. Well, I still have not figured this choke completely out. I ain't going to lie to you. There's a fine line between off and choke. She was running. Ooh, trying to move the ball with it. this thing running for actually quite a long period of time with no gear oil in it, and for us to simply take it apart, clean it a little bit, just to clean the junk out of it, and put some gear oil in it, and for it to fire back up. I think it just got too hot that day because those gears didn't have any gear oil. Nothing was quite working as it should. The impeller looked good, and it's running again. I'm gonna top this back off. We're gonna we're gonna top this back off with water, and we're gonna see if we can just let it sit here and kind of idle and get up to operating temp and see what it does. Okay, so we got our tub back full of water. We're going to fire it up and see if it'll just kind of sit here and idle. And if it does, we're going to have to take it back out on the lake, put it back on the boat, and really give it a fair shakedown, because I feel like a good bit of this was operator error, and the other part of it was really crappy instructions. So let's see if we can get her fired up here. So I've never been really sure on the choke. Wait, I think that's too much choke. And it's got on and off, but if you put it up to off, the motor cuts off. Right, we're gonna. It still doesn't like to idle. There you go. But it is running. So we'll have to figure out the sorry, I showed you all my flubber there. We're gonna have to figure out the idle issue, but it is running. We know it runs. Hopefully we can figure this idle out on the lake. We're gonna give it another shakedown. We're gonna give it another review. If it continues to do good, it'll probably be a totally opposite review of what I did originally, because I think it's mostly my fault. It's not staying running now. I don't want to give it any gas and shoot any more water all over the shop, because then I have to clean it up again. But we know it runs. Again, we know it runs. Thank God we didn't crack can our gears. It seems to be spinning the prop pretty good. So we're going to get it back out on the lake. We're going to do another review on it, because your boy's an idiot and didn't put no gear oil in it, and the instructions suck for this. Is not very clear. So maybe for 167 bucks it does turn out to be a good motor. We're going to find that out in a later video. I want to thank you guys for watching. Y'all remember to like and subscribe. Remember, I test the gear so you don't have to. I make the dumb mistakes so you know not to. Y'all stay frosty, and I'll see you in the next one.